Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to take a minute to welcome you to the class officially and give you a really brief walkthrough that explains sort of how our course will proceed, what you can expect on a regular basis from me in terms of communication, and just kind of give you a really quick overview of how to get started so that you don't feel super confused or super lost. And I do want to remind you that I will be sending communication regularly, but should you have any questions or confusion or you're concerned about anything, please don't hesitate to email me. I'm here to help, and I know that online courses can be a bit challenging and can feel a bit isolating sometimes, and I would really like to help mitigate that and let you know that I'm here for you. And if you have questions or problems, please don't hesitate to reach out to me and we'll get you sorted out. I also want to tell you a little bit about me. I am a very sarcastic person, and it's sometimes miscommunicated in emails and things like that. And I promise I'm never intentionally trying to be rude, and I've learned to sort of curb my sarcasm. But if something I say touches you in the wrong way, I apologize in advance and just know that it was probably meant with best humorous intentions, and I'm not trying to isolate anyone. But that's just kind of my personality. I have a tendency to make jokes about things. So just a little bit about me right up front. Excuse me. Also, I'm recording these videos in my home, and I have two dogs, as you'll see when you start clicking through material here. And sometimes they bark and sometimes they scratch their necks, and it can create a bit of background noise. So please bear with me and realize that I am trying to deal with things that are sometimes out of my control because, as everyone knows, the mailman is the mortal nemesis of most dogs, and my dogs certainly seem to think so as well. So just keep that in mind that I'm in my house and my dogs are oftentimes doing their own thing. So if something pops up and you have problems hearing me or something, please let me know and I can re-record or send you an email about what's going on. Okay, all of that aside, so getting started with the course, today is day one, and you do have a couple of assignments due already, as I've mentioned in some of the previous emails and in the syllabus. This is a very quick-paced course. We're trying to push 16 weeks worth of information from a normal semester into 6 weeks in a summer semester. So that does mean that the course load is a little bit more intense, the work is a little bit more rapid fire, and you will be working for your grades in this class. And that being said, I have tried to make it user-friendly. I know that many of you have families, have jobs, have extra responsibilities during the summer, and I have tried to keep that in mind while covering all of the things that we need to cover. So with that in mind, you'll see the first day here, you have two assignments due, the syllabus quiz and the introduce yourself discussion post. And I wanted to point you to the directions to how to get there. As you will see in the syllabus, there's a fairly detailed breakdown of assignments and where you'll find the information, where to post them, and when they're due. I tried to update this and make sure that all of the due dates and everything were correct. If you notice anything incorrect, the most current information will always be on this course Blackboard page. So if you're confused about a due date for an assignment, you'll always be able to see it here. And I'm not going to break into the discussion assignments yet because there's a separate video for that, and you're not really concerned with that on the first day. Right now, we're just thinking about how to navigate the course. So from this main page, go ahead and click Start Here. And once you click Start Here, you will see this page. And on this page, you will see some various course materials. So in case you hadn't guessed, I would like you to watch the introduction video first. I use a lot of exclamation points and different colored fonts and things to try to get your attention. And so I apologize if you find those offensive. I just find that it helps bring people's attention to particular things. So when you click here to watch the video, it does open and it's fairly small. If you would like to watch the larger video on the actual YouTube page, if you click share, and go click the link that pops up, you can watch the full screen video, which is, I feel like Inception here where I'm watching myself make a video, which is a little bit easier to see. So that's an option for all of the videos too. So get started by watching the video. This video will tell you how more in depth how to navigate things and use the course a little bit more. Of course, there's information about me. There are those 2 sweet dogs that I was telling you about. There's information about the syllabus, how to navigate the course, calendar, policies, learning materials. Of course, you know by this point you should have your textbook, Everything's an Argument, the 7th edition, and then course objectives, student support, and then finally you can click through to get started with Unit 1. And the first couple of assignments that are due will be explained to you in the objectives and assignments area. And all of this information is also available both on the Blackboard course page and the course calendar, excuse me, and then in the syllabus. So here is all of the stuff we'll be doing in Unit 1. If I want to get back to all of the assignments and whatnot, I would just go ahead and click on Unit 1, and this takes me to the main area. So you'll see when you look at the calendar, the first 2 assignments that are due are the syllabus quiz and the Introduce Yourself discussion post. And you can also click those, and there's a link that will pop up to take you to the information as well, if you find that easier to navigate. So the syllabus quiz, you'll notice, mark reviewed. Be sure to check that when you complete the syllabus quiz. This is very basic quiz. I just want to make sure that you've understood the syllabus, that you've actually read it, and if you have any questions to let me know about that. You can certainly use your syllabus. In fact, I encourage you to use the syllabus while you're working on it, and the only stipulation is that you have to complete it in one sitting. You can't save it and come back to it, but it really should only take you about 10 or 15 minutes once you've read through the syllabus. The second thing that is due tonight is the Introduce Yourself discussion post. So we will be using Facebook, for our discussions, and you'll see Unit 1 Facebook discussion prompts. So if I go ahead and click through here, here's first and foremost information about what Facebook discussions are, how you do them, secondary discussion post guidelines, which I'll talk further about later this week, and then finally the Unit 1 discussion posts. So every unit will have separate discussion posts, and these instructions will be posted in a document. Once you open the document, give me a second here, you'll be able to see all of the discussions for that unit. And if we go back to the course calendar, you'll see over here on this Friday, it looks like there's 5 assignments due. Those 5 assignments are actually all discussion posts, and you will find all of the information and instructions, under the Unit 1 discussion post prompts. So the first one we're doing is the Introduce Yourself. We'll be using Pinterest for this. If you have no idea what Pinterest is or how to get started, there's a great YouTube video link for you there. I know that some of you may not have Pinterest accounts, and that's completely fine. I ask that you create one for this assignment, and once you get a grade for this assignment, you can delete it and never ever use it again. It's fairly user-friendly, and I like using Pinterest because it helps us see a little bit more dynamic representation of each other. So when you were thinking about using Facebook as the discussions, you'll find all of the information here in the discussion prompts for each unit. And that's, oh no, that's not quite it for the first day, sorry. These other 2 things are really pretty simple though. So the other 2 things that you need to do, which you will find on the syllabus in the instructions for the unit. So sign up for our Facebook group by clicking the link, sign up for Remind, and validate your enrollment. So those 2 things, by clicking this link over here, Remind Sign Up, I'll wait just a second for it. What this is a text messaging service that allows me to send you brief text messages to communicate important events. So you'll go ahead and enter your name here, your phone number here, and then click sign up, and you'll get a text response, and you'll then be receiving text messages from me. I use this as a way to remind you about assignments, if anything changes, and sometimes there's even extra credit opportunities. So it's really in your best interest to sign up for Remind. If you don't want to, you certainly don't have to, but be aware that you may be missing out on some important information. The second thing that needs to be completed is validating enrollment. This is really important. If you don't do this, you can actually be dropped from the course. The deadline is Tuesday, let's see, right here, Tuesday, 6/28 by noon. So all you have to do to validate your enrollment is click that little button. That's it. And this basically verifies that you'll be continuing in the course and that you'll be participating. And if you don't do that, or you don't communicate to me that you will not be able to participate in the first day of class, then you will be dropped from the class. So it's very important that you do that. And as you can see, all of the information to get started on day 1 and day 2 is right here under Getting Started. I've tried to organize everything pretty chronologically in both the sidebar and in the units. So if you're confused about when something is due, if you look through the units, you will generally see they move from first due dates to last due dates, and everything in between is stuff that we will be moving through chronologically. So that's kind of what you're doing for the first day. Also, I will send you at least once a week an email to tell you what we're working on today, what we're working on this week, and to give you some helpful tips. So these will come on Blackboard and be delivered to your UCM email, and there will also be an announcement on Blackboard. So it's really important that you read that information. Oftentimes, if people are having problems with a particular assignment or something, I'll post general instructions or guidelines or tips here in these emails and announcements. So it's really important that you read these thoroughly. As well, I'll remind you about due dates and things like that. So if you're not signed up for the Remind text messages, then this would be a way for you to make sure that you're getting all of the important information. So I know that seems like a lot to do. I promise most of the tasks really only take you a few minutes. And with the Pinterest Introduce Yourself activity, you may find that you actually have fun with it, which I hope you do. And this is getting started with day 1. So as I said at the top, if you have any questions or problems or confusions, please just let me know, and I am happy to help you. So I'm looking forward to working with all of you this summer, and if you have anything that pops up, just let me know. Have a good day.